The guy wakes up to find all 12 of his brothers in arms dead. When he rushes back home, his wife and daughter have been killed too, and the killer is his closest comrade in arms. As the toughest top soldier, he loses everything in a single night, so he's determined to take the cruelest revenge on the military that planned it all.
That I already knew.
Just a few hours earlier, he'd just finished an MRI scan. A pistol suddenly pressed against his head. He was a retired Special Forces king. He instantly realized it was an assassination attempt. Jason raised his hands to feign surrender. He deliberately lifted his elbows. This posture let him seize the gun in half a second. The killer signaled him to leave the medical cabin. Another killer crept close silently, trying to pin him down. The moment the gun pressed against his forehead again, every strike Jason made was deadly. But the killers were no easy foes. Not until Jason reclaimed the pistol did 3 bullets end the fight. One killer turned and fled. Jason meant to chase him at once, but when he looked at the pistol, he froze completely. It was his own service pistol, kept at home. Jason knew his family was in danger. He rushed home in his car immediately, but in the end, he was too late. His wife and daughter's bodies lay in the kitchen. Their horrific deaths shattered Jason. He let out a desperate roar, able to do nothing else. The police arrived soon after, but they deemed it a home robbery. Jason could not accept this at all. He went to his Navy superior and confessed he'd been attacked in the hospital. Yet when the forensic team checked the hospital, they only found the doctor's body. Ballistic tests showed all bullets came from Jason's gun. There were no killer bodies, not even a trace of a struggle. Holder, the lead investigator, immediately concluded that Jason was suffering from a mental disorder. Countless conflicting details flooded his mind. Jason wondered if he was truly insane. But just then, he noticed a terrifying detail. Jason held up his fingers to compare. In the next second, cold sweat soaked his body. Holder's eyes were exactly the same as the killer's. To uncover the truth, Jason resolved to investigate Holder thoroughly. Late that night, he sneaked into Holder's house, pressed the gun to his mouth, forcing him to name the mastermind, Marcus, the oil tycoon. As Jason wondered why an oil tycoon would target him, Holder suddenly fought back. His death was made to look like suicide. With Holder dead, Marcus became the next target. Even if he didn't understand the motive, Jason knew finding Marcus would give him answers. Early that morning, Jason hid in the mountains long before dawn. He set up a wind gauge and calibrated his sniper scope carefully. Everything was ready. As a Porsche sped down the highway, Jason pulled the trigger. The car lost control and plummeted off a cliff at once. Jason then walked slowly toward the wreckage. He unlocked Marcus's phone, copied all the data inside, and sent it to his comrade, Morgan. Using the info Morgan provided, Jason soon found the killer who'd murdered his family. But the killer had returned to his stronghold, where over a dozen professional hitmen waited. So Jason gathered his former comrades and formed a strike team on the spot. The next day, Jason and his team snuck into the stronghold undetected. A sniper on the perimeter reported enemy positions in real time. When the enemies entered firing range, the fight broke out instantly. Covered by the sniper, Jason burst into a room. Just then, the killer who'd killed his family appeared at last. Jason charged forward and pinned him down. He hung the man from a beam and unleashed his anger with every punch. He pulled out his daughter's favorite axe, ripped the killer open from chest to belly, hung his organs high up, letting him die a slow, painful death. He'd avenged his wife and daughter, but Jason's revenge was far from over. From Morgan's intel, he discovered all of this was linked to a military operation 3 months prior. Back then, as captain, Jason led SEAL Team 7 on a mission to Syria. But after one night, his 12 comrades became 12 coffins. He'd thought it was an intelligence failure, never imagining the truth involved business tycoons and military brass. In reality, the entire SEAL Team 7 had been injected with a drug codenamed Road 4895 without their knowledge. The drug boosted human neural reflexes, but also caused brain tumors. Unknowingly, SEAL Team 7 had become lab rats for the military and drug makers. When the experiment ended, every member faced a family massacre. So Jason's revenge continued. He would avenge the experiment's masterminds and give his fallen comrades justice. Jason stared at the last name on his revenge list, Steve, his next target. Jason made an armor-piercing bomb in his garage. He then found Steve, who was giving an interview, pressed the trigger. A massive explosion blew Steve flying, but he survived by sheer luck. Jason refused to miss the chance, grabbed his rifle, and fought a gunfight on the street. Dozens of bodyguards fell easily to him. When the gun pressed against Steve's forehead, the arrogant tycoon could only beg for his life. All he got in response was a single bullet. Jason then hijacked a pickup truck and fled, but the police reacted faster than he expected. A dozen police cars cornered him at a sharp turn. A spike strip the police had laid in advance sent the pickup truck rolling out of control. Police sprayed the truck with bullets, but when they approached, there was only a pool of blood inside. Jason had already fled into the nearby woods. The next day, the military sent SEAL Team 6, with other forces, to hunt Jason down at all costs. The team launched a full search at once, quickly locking onto an unknown heat source in the search area. The team rushed to the marked spot, never noticing Jason was hiding right beneath their feet. Just then, a sudden explosion erupted in thick smoke. Jason struck fast. He didn't attack his former comrades, only snatched a backpack from one of them. Jason soon fled to a mountaintop. Cliffs loomed behind him. He had nowhere to run. Jason aimed at his pursuing comrades. His fingers slowly curled around the trigger, but looking at their familiar faces, he lowered the gun at last. When the team reached the top, only a single bullet, standing upright.
What does this mean?
Means he had the shot, Leyoon.
The team continued their search. On the map, Jason found a hillside prone to collapse. A river ran right below it. He planted bombs on the hillside at once. When he finished, the team arrived. They intended to capture Jason alive, never realizing they were the prey. Jason detonated the bombs, triggering a landslide, cutting off the team's path completely. He then escaped calmly. His next targets were the 3 military brass on his list. Jason stood on a fishing boat, 3 nautical miles away, binoculars fixed on the naval base. Admiral Tiller, a coward who hid behind walls, one of his revenge targets. The camera panned over the base's defenses, patrol boats, sniper towers, heavy security. 5,000 Navy soldiers garrisoned it. Killing him was like taking on the entire US Navy. But for a coward like this, Jason had his own plan. At that moment, a base commander sensed danger coming, suggested a tactical retreat to the admiral, but the admiral and the black drill instructor scoffed at Jason. They believed if Jason dared to come, 5,000 Navy soldiers would make sure he never left. The commander went home alone, eager to move his family abroad at once. But before he could pack his bags, Morgan, disguised as an FBI agent, appeared at his doorstep. The commander's family was taken by force. Jason went to find the black drill instructor alone. The man had once been his mentor, but now, no words were exchanged. They fought at once. He grabbed the instructor's right arm with both hands, exerted all his strength, snapping his joint clean off. Right after, he injected a sedative into the instructor's thigh. When the instructor woke again, he was tied to the beach by Jason. To deal with him, Jason decided to use the rising tide to force a confession. He placed a 400-pound lock on top of the instructor. This instructor had issued the orders to SEAL Team 7. He was also one of Jason's 3 revenge targets. Jason would let him bear the weight alone and die in solitude. Later, the commander's family was brought to the beach too. Jason knew a soldier's weakness, just as they had exploited his. Jason picked up the commander's child and walked toward the sea. Faced with the commander's desperate pleas, Jason let his family go in the end, but he had a gift for the admiral. Moments later, the unharmed commander walked into naval headquarters, handing a phone to the admiral. Seeing the commander's terrified face, the admiral knew at once what had happened. He shouted curses into the phone, blaming Jason for ruining the entire Navy. But in the next second, he was struck with terror. The commander unbuttoned his coat, revealing 2 claymore mines hidden inside. The admiral cowered instantly, begging for his life frantically. These men with power were no different from ordinary people in the face of death. He offered to name all his accomplices, but Jason only let out a cold laugh and dialed the number on the bombs. After a deafening blast, both men were blown to pieces. Now, only one target remained, the Secretary of Defense. Jason and Morgan quickly found the island where the Secretary of Defense was hiding. Morgan took position on a high point for long-range sniper cover. Jason went onto the island alone to face dozens of mercenaries there. Jason was about to charge forward when a mercenary on the balcony pinned him down. He told Morgan to take the mercenary out, then fired back at once. The enemies were killed before they could react. Jason reloaded quickly and burst into the yard. Guards fell one after another. He moved along the wall, faced with an open area ahead. Jason threw a smoke grenade cautiously, then switched to a thermal scope, not missing a single enemy. Only 2 guards were left. Jason threw a stun grenade into the room. One guard screamed and rushed out, fighting Jason hand to hand. Jason took a bullet to the stomach. He forced himself to grab the enemy's gun, then pulled out his axe from his waist and killed him. The last guard surrendered at once, opening the door obediently, but Jason still didn't spare him. He then burst into the safe house, only to find his friend there. She rushed forward to stop him, explaining the Secretary of Defense was not a beneficiary. The last batch of experiment funds had actually gone into a CIA agent's account, but Jason didn't care at all, because the Secretary of Defense was the mastermind of the experiment. That was an undeniable fact. The Secretary of Defense knew there was no escape. To keep the last shred of a politician's dignity, she picked up a pistol and chose to take her own life. 3 months later, in the Caribbean Sea, Morgan's yacht shook slightly when he turned and saw Jason's raised pistol and the transfer records on a tablet. A look of relief crossed his face instead. It turned out Morgan had provided the fake intelligence that had killed SEAL Team 7. Though he had been used by others, he had done nothing to stop it after learning the truth. That was a sin in itself. A single gunshot rang out, frightening a flock of seagulls into flight. Jason stared at his revenge list for the last time. All the names were crossed out. He flipped the list over and kissed his daughter's drawing one last time, leaving all his hatred and longing for his family in the vast, endless sea.